Hi, this is a training for Palo Savings Bank on how to use the WordPress website. I've already logged in here to the website, and you can find the login at palosavingsbank.com/wp-admin, and that'll be on the red sheet that comes from Firehouse. Once you log in, you'll see the dashboard. Not a lot of information here that you need to know, really. Most of everything you need is in this left-hand bar. First being pages. So as you can see, I've got the front side of the website over here on the right hand side, so you can kind of see both the front side and the back side at the same time. So within pages, you'll see a list of every page in the website, except the home page is missing out of this list. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But everything else is in this list, and so it's very easy to go in and let's say we open up mobile banking. And you'll see that this is the text that's on mobile banking. You pull that up on this side too, so you can see both at the same time. Not a lot of text on this page, just a little bit here. And when you select this text, it opens up an extra box in a little editing window here. And you'll see that it's marked Heading 2. Now there are a lot of headings to choose from in this drop down. Heading 1 is the largest, Heading 2 is the next largest, and so forth all the way down. Paragraph is the regular body type. So for instance, all of this type is the paragraph style. You're really not setting fonts and colors and all of that. Those are sort of preset for the site. All you need to do is choose whether it's a really large heading or a smaller heading, or if it's just a paragraph font. So those are all located right there. If you don't see all of these buttons, you might click on this toolbar toggle. Occasionally that gets turned off and you don't see all of the options. Another tool that you might use regularly is formats, and here you can format text to be a button or for it to have white text or blue text. Those are all built in. Usually you're just going to be turning things into a button. Let's say if you have a link or something you want to link to a PDF or something, you might want to turn that text into a button. You literally would just, let's just make a new one here, type in whatever you want the button text to be, like let's say it was click here, and then you could choose the button text, and whenever you've made a change and you're ready to publish it, click update in the upper right hand corner. And then if we go over here on the right hand side and we refresh, you can see that we now have a button that says click here. Well, currently the button does nothing because we need to make sure that we set a link on this button. So this tool is the Insert Link tool. You can highlight your text and click that. You can type in the name of a page. So you could link that to any page within the website. And let's say I wanted to connect it to About Us. That wouldn't make sense, but I could connect it there. And then when I hit this blue apply button, it is now linking this text to the About Us page. So when I hit update and then I go refresh my page over here, I'm going to make sure to refresh every time, and I click the new button that we've created, it takes us to About Us. So that's how you would add in a button. You could also add in a image within the text, and again, this is going to be just within this content area, the white block here in the middle. You can put your cursor in and click on Add Media. That opens up the media gallery. These are all of the images and PDFs that are currently within your site. You could choose from any of those or go ahead and upload and then choose one from your desktop or drag it in, and you could upload an image there as well. You could also upload a PDF if you want to add that PDF onto your page. The other features, let's click over here on Document in the upper right. This page has a featured image at the top. Pretty much every page on the site does. So if I click this, you can see there's where the featured image at the top is. A lot of these other links you won't need. They don't apply per se to the site, but that's how you would edit most every page on the site. Now, the exception to that rule is the home page. So the home page is set up a little bit differently because it's not a standard format for a page. It has a large image rotator at the top, a single line of text here. Of course, the account access is built in, and we don't want to alter anything about that. And then there are 4 featured images here with links at the bottom. To edit the home page, you're going to, well, first of all, let's go ahead and remove this because we don't want that. And I'm going to update that page. We're going to go over to edit the home page to Appearance and Widgets. And yes, we're ready to leave that page. Okay, within Widgets, you'll see all of these little bars here. This is where the home page features are built in. Now, the home page is not something you're probably going to want to change that often, and it is a little trickier here, so you do have to be a little more careful when you're editing the home page. So the header on the right, you can see there are built in some things like the logo. It says header right. It's actually, that logo actually appears on the left, but the logo is built in. And then there's a navigation window. That's actually the navigation for social, which has Facebook in it currently. And then a navigation window also, which is this bar across the top of your main navigation. None of those really need to be altered at all. The only thing you might want to alter is, let's see, I believe it's under Home Top. So the home page, top portion, there is a revolution slider. That's this image slider right here. And that's just sort of the code telling it to be in that spot. The account access, we don't need to edit that. There's a visual editor. And this is where the text is that says family owned since 1908. So that text could be changed out, and then you'd hit the blue save button whenever that was complete. Other than that, you could change these featured images. That's under Home Bottom. Right now, it's set to this image with a link to Shazam. And then the second one is Calculators, this image with a link to the Calculators page, and so forth. You can see it's all 4 of those featured images along with their corresponding links. Okay, now if you wanted to change the images in this image rotator, that's in a tool called Slider Revolution. So we're going to click on that right here. And within Slider Revolution, we have just one slider. It's this one. It's labeled Home. You can see this little label down here. So we'll open that up. And there are currently 3 slides. And if you could add a slide if you wanted, and if you add a blank slide, then it's going to ask you, now you want to obviously put an image in there. So we can choose this main background image and go to our media library, and we could choose a photo within the media library and insert it in, and we would have a new slide with the image that we just picked. Now you can do other things. Here's where you actually edit that slide. I'm going to pull this over so you can see it a little better. Here's where you actually edit that slide, and you could add a layer with text. And then after you add the text, you can set the size. And maybe put that in a spot where it makes sense. And after you make all of those changes, you can hit the green Save Slide. Now there are a lot of different options here, everything from animation to visibility, behaviors, actions, lots of things that can be done here, but it gets pretty complex, so I would recommend you kind of stick to adding in the images by going to the main background and putting in that image from your image library, and then adding a layer with text or image or whatever over the top. You could add a button if you want to link to another page. So those are sort of all the basics. The one thing that does get a little tricky sometimes, if you want to stack the copy so that it's not all in one line, let's say I wanted the box to be more like this, but you can see my text did not wrap around. That's this button right here, and it's a little bit tricky to find, so I try to tell people that this is what causes it to wrap around. And then we're going to increase the line height and make that something that looks a little more normal. And so we'd work with that until it fit nicely in that box. When you're finished, be sure to hit the green Save Slide button in the upper right. One other item you might want to alter are the locations. So let's click here on Locations. Oh, nope, I'm sorry. We don't have those set up in yours, but that feature is available in yours. Right now, those are all built into the contact page. It's just the one location and it's built into the contact page. And then the menu at the top. Sometimes we get the question about how do I add additional pages and how do I get them into the menu? Well, adding pages is very easy. You just hover over pages here and you'll see there's an add new link. And when you do that, you get a page that looks just like the page we were editing earlier where you can put in a title and start adding your copy. And then you can get the other tools as well to add copy within that page or images or anything else that you like. And then if you wanted to make sure that that new page got added to your menu, you'll go to Appearance and Menus. Okay, now within menus, I'm going to scoot this back over again so you can see both. Within menus, you'll see, again, these little bars. This time it's Home, About, and then there's a couple items underneath, Consumer, and several items underneath. And as you'll realize, these that are all the way bumped out to the left-hand side are the main navigation items across the top. If they are indented, those are the drop-down items, as you can see. So Consumer has 5 drop-down items, and here they are. These are really easy to organize and add. So if you were to add a new page, it would come up here in the most recent window, and that new page would appear, and you could easily select the box and add it to the menu. It's going to default by putting it at the bottom every time, so just be aware of that. And then you can drag it up into the right spot, and let's say we wanted to put that under About Us. And if it was indented once, then it would be a regular drop down under About Us. And I'll do that temporarily here. Let's save that menu, refresh over here, and About Us now you can see has interest rates added to it. If you need to get rid of that, here's the button to click it and expand it and remove it, and then we'll save that page again. So that's how you add to the navigation. I believe we've already discussed in a previous video about table press. Table press is where all of your rates are currently. So we're going to go here on the front side to interest rates. And all of the rates are here. I'll click on the interest rate table. When you open that up, you can see it's a little harder to view, obviously, than it is on the front side, but these are all the cells that the information is in to create this table. So you can look through and pull out the correct cell, highlight text, edit, whatever you need to do to edit and update those tables. And there are ways down here too to add to the table, insert a new row, like selected rows you can insert, delete, duplicate, and so forth. You can add a new column, add a new row down here. And then once you're finished, as usual, be sure to hit the Save Changes button at the top, and the page will automatically publish and be refreshed on the internet. That's about it for editing this site. If you have any questions, feel free to contact Firehouse Design at 573-893